Preface to Save the Girls. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Save the Girls by Mason Long. Preface. We hear of reformed men on all sides. There are reformed criminals of every kind in the pulpits, on the rostrums, in the church, telling the story of their past lives, that all who hear may heed the terrible warning and profit by the example. But we hear little or nothing of reformed women. Efforts are constantly being made to elevate and save degraded men, but degraded women are left by the wayside to perish. The author has long pondered over this subject and wondered why a lost woman isn't just as well worth saving as a lost man, and why she cannot be as easily reached as he. In this little volume I have endeavored, in my humble way, to plead the cause of these wretched outcasts, and present their claims for consideration. Fully aware that the subject I have discussed is a most delicate one, I have endeavored to handle it in such a manner that no right-minded person can take any offense. The book might better have been written by some abler pen than mine, but one thing I beg to say, that no word in it has been penned with any motive save that of doing good. If my humble efforts direct the attention of all good people to our erring sisters, and lead them to hold up the hands of their clergymen in efforts to save these wretched beings, I shall feel my book has accomplished its object, that my labor has not been in vain. Mason Long, Fort Wayne, Indiana, August 1880. End of preface. Chapter 1 of Save the Girls by Mason Long. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. A page from real life. Introductory. In one of the large cities of this country, a few years ago, resided a man whose life seemed to have been crowned with all the blessings which this world could bestow. In the prime of a vigorous manhood, in the possession of perfect health, the owner of a vast property from which he derived a princely income, the occupant of an elegant and beautiful home, filled with all the attractions that money could purchase or the most luxurious taste could suggest. He was envied by all as one of the most happy and fortunate of men. His family consisted of a lovely wife, several years his junior, of a son just verging upon man's estate, and of a daughter just budding into maidenhood. Upon this family the husband and father lavished all the affection of his nature. His wife, who was queen of her husband's heart, was also a petted queen of society. She desired nothing that money would furnish which was not given her. She dispensed to her friends an elegant hospitality which few could rival. Her entertainments were of the most elaborate description. She enjoyed all the advantages and pleasures of travel, dressed in the most fashionable style, had her splendid carriage and her box at the opera. In a word, she lacked for nothing that wealth could procure or the world could give, that would contribute to her happiness. Upon the son and daughter both parents showered their love. The mother, as mothers always do, fairly doted upon her son, while the father worshipped his daughter, and in his mind often pictured for her a brilliant future. It is hardly necessary to say that this son and this daughter, upon whom so much love was bestowed, and about whom so many fond hopes clustered, were petted and humored to an excessive degree. The young man bore his father's full name, and was reared with a view to becoming the paternal successor as the manager of the latter's extensive business. His early youth gave promise of a brilliant career in the future. Inheriting his father's splendid physique and perfect health, he was really a model of manly beauty, possessed of a fine intellect, and naturally inclined to be industrious and studious. There was everything about him to justify the pride and confidence which his parents felt in him. When he left home to enter college, his record was pure and unsullied, but the temptations of college life proved too strong for him to withstand, and he readily succumbed to them. The social glass, which had always been tendered to guests at his home, possessed a charm for him, which grew with each succeeding day. The gambling table was as attractive and dazzling to him as it had proved to thousands who had gone before. The seductions of the strange woman made him a not unwilling victim.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?